On Tuesday, the Springfield Preservation Trust will host their 2024 Preservation Awards, honoring those who've dedicated time and resources to restoring historic buildings within the city.
And Western Mass News reporter Addie Patterson spoke with some of this year's award recipients to learn more.
Springfield is the city of homes and the city of firsts. We have a lot of beautiful historic structures here, and it takes the people of our community to steward those along in order for next generations to enjoy them.
On May 14th, the Springfield Preservation Trust will hold their 2024 Preservation Awards. The awards honoring people and organizations who've helped restore historic structures in Springfield. Among this year's award recipients is Wynn Companies and Opal Real Estate Group for their work on 13 to 31 Elm Street. Built in 1892, the structure was used as office spaces, a theater, and even a hotel until eventually becoming abandoned. Fast forward to today. Say hello to Wynn Development's 74-unit apartment building, fully restored and fully leased out.
We're really careful about how we undertake these redevelopments. We restore everything we possibly can. So throughout this building, you'll see original terrazzo floors, original marble in the entryways.
Western Mass News spoke with Marianne Sullivan, communications manager for Wynn Development. She tells us the importance of maintaining and redeveloping historic structures.
They're landmarks of the past. I think if you're able to reflect on the prior use and some of the really interesting things that happen in these properties, while also taking them and restoring them and making them usable in a modern way, it gives you a lot of appreciation for how far the city has come.
Another award recipient being honored is Christ Church Cathedral. Executive committee member of the church, Michael Stevens, explains the church's significance in the community.
The spiritual feeling that people get from coming here, from being a member of this congregation, has many levels, but one level for a lot of people is the beauty of this building.
The Preservation Awards not only honor the dedication of the recipients, but they show how historic buildings can be transformed, maintained, and eventually become vibrant centers of growth for Springfield.
It's very discouraging when you walk around downtown and see vacant historic buildings, and you just imagine those colorful pasts they had, and we hope to see those colorful futures that are soon to come with the preservation work that is done.
Reporting in Springfield, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.